Before I get started, after my watch ended, of season 1 and put my review out, I was told by hardcore fans of the cyberpunk world that I didn't know what I was talking about when I criticized the excessive use of nudity in the first 3 episodes, and that season 2 was horrible, and that the casting of Anthony Mackie killed the series, and to not even bother watching season 2. I could use this time to go over how toxic fans unknowingly kill the projects they love due to their blindness and loyalty to the brand, and turn off fans and casual fans from even engaging or even giving these types of show or any type of shows a fair chance due to their obsession of being a quote unquote true fan, whatever that means. But I'm glad I didn't let them sway me from watching season 2. With that being said, spoiler warning if you haven't seen season 2. Season 2 was a fast-paced, condensed, well-acted, but poorly written sequel to the very successful book adaptation. Anthony Mackie picks up the baton as the sci-fi hero Takeshi Kovacs from Joe Kinnaman that by the end of season 1 sold us on his performance that made us all believe he was the legendary envoy hero that the show wanted us to believe and that the books told us he was. Now, season 2 was not without its own faults and mistakes, but it seemed that the writers, producers, and directors learned from their mistake of season 1 and managed to produce an overall entertaining and engaging product. Even though they used a lot of callbacks to season 1 that really didn't need to happen and didn't add to the overall storytelling or narrative. But glad that they toned down the nudity and sex. Like I said before in the beginning, the pacing greatly helped the enjoyability of season 2. That's not talking down to season 1, as it was cursed, as most universe building projects are, to lay down the base or foundation of their universe. It took to episode 4 of season 1 to get fully in the flow of the show, a sentiment that many fans and casual watchers felt about season 1. So I was glad that they tidied up the pace and gave us subtle nudity that made sense to the plot or story and not just randomly pop it in like season 1 did. To be fair, it was meant to show us how society had degenerated into, but was off-putting to some viewers, including me. I like my nudity to have a point, not just shoved in my eyes. But after episode 4, it was off to the races. Where season 2, after episode 1, it was go, 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 and kind of forced me to binge watch the entire season 2. So let's discuss the plot. So the plot of season 2 is after 30 years since the events of the season 1 finale, Kovac is in a new sleeve and is acting out his inner Jessica Rabbit and is a lounge singer when a bounty hunter catches up with him or her, depending on how you see that opening scene, and offers him a job to protect a Met. He declines but is shot and taken against his will, where he meets the Met that wants to hire Kovac as his personal bodyguard. He ain't interested until he is offered information about his long-lost love, Falconer. And if he accepts, he is offered a new body or a new sleeve that looks a lot like our new Captain America, and he accepts. Now, I'll be honest, for a few minutes, I thought it was going to be a repeat of season 1 until Kovac gets reanimated, and in minutes, he is assaulted by a mysterious figure, but isn't killed, just injured. Later in the series, we find out that it's his lost love, Falconer. Once Kovac comes to, he finds a bloody murder scene, and the Met that had the information about Falconer was dead. So I don't know if the producers or directors meant to troll us, but I was glad it wasn't the storyline, and we pick up with Kovac trying to find Falconer after episode 1. Kovac gets used to the Harlan's world, environment, and politics. For the next several episodes, he goes around asking questions and having flashbacks to Falconer and realized that it was Falconer that stabbed him after he reanimated and wants to know if it was his long-lost love or someone using a sleeve of her. So after asking around and getting information about crimes being committed in Harlan's world, Falconer catches up with Kovac and reunites. But Falconer can't remember her past and only remembers the people she has killed. And the people she is killing are ancient ones, or as I remember them, the OGs. So now reunited, Kovac decides to try and get off-world, or get them both off-world, so he can help her remember. And in doing this, he gets arrested. He is accused of the murders he was innocent of in episode 1. And here we have our first, but not last, bit of nostalgia to season 1, where he has to fight clones of Ortega, Elliot, his sister. It was a bit too much for me, but I enjoyed watching the old cast beat the crap out of Kovac. So anyways, of course he escapes with the help of Falconer. So from this point until the end, Kovac has to come to terms with people from his past, including a clone of himself that apparently was copied when he was first sleeved and worked for the Protectorate. And surprise, surprise, it's the antagonist of season 1, Jaeger. So Kovac takes Falconer to the river from season 1 when she touches the water, and like magic, she remembers everything. So Anthony Mackie's Kovac meets the OG Kovac and have an epic battle. I'm using epic as a joke because it was kind of boring, but a nice plot device so OG Kovac can have time with Falconer so she can show OG Kovac all the lies and betrayal that Joe Kinnaman's Kovac went through, and showed OG Kovac the evil his sister did. Confused yet? I know. So using her I know everything magic Falconer is known for, she manages to make this Kovac fall for her like she did so long ago. So at the end, surprise, surprise, not really, both Kovacs team up and help Falconer take down an alien with wings that uses stacks to invade bodies like a parasite and kills all that wronged him. So this generic alien takes control of Jaeger and enacts his final plan to destroy all of Harlan's world. So here, the all-knowing Falconer comes up with a plan to kill Jaeger so the alien can use her body as a host again, so she can kill herself and save humanity. Even though for the entirety of season 1, she has been trying to bring back death. But okay, TV show, you have to TV, I guess. So they all agree, and the grand twist, Anthony Mackie is the one to kill Jaeger or the alien, and he kills himself to save humanity. That's more or less the plot of this season. So I found the plot and story to be weak and generic. The supporting cast was engaging, but didn't have much to work with. The constant callbacks to season 1 just felt that the writers didn't know where to take it, and given that there is no explanation to what made Kovac give up his search for Falconer after the emotional goodbye in season 1, it was a huge plot hole for me. The convoluted storylines, the lack of imagination for a sci-fi series is what ultimately doomed this short-lived franchise. You really need to know and understand the source material to follow along, and for humans and our attention span, that's a losing formula all day long. I did enjoy this season, but only due to the tease of season 1 or the ending of season 1 and the continued tease and constant guest appearances from the cast from season 1 that kept me engaged. The fact they could not write a scene for Joel just felt like a slap to the face for the actor that made Kovac the character we all cheered for. Poe and Anthony Mackie's charisma carry this season, but sadly, to a weak and predictable ending. Did I enjoy this season? Yes. Was it easier to understand than season 1? Kind of. But it felt rushed and again, just lacked imagination. But hey, that's just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know. And like always, that's a wrap.